पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे Paramanandamaadhavam. By the infinite grace of Lord Krishna and Sri Ramakrishna, we are studying Bhagavadgita. We are in the 4th chapter. We have completed the shloka number 14 in the previous session. In that session, the Lord says, I am the creator of the Chaturvarnya, the fourfold divisions of the Varnas or the classes, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. This classification is entirely based upon Guna and the Karma. The Guna means the aptitude and also the Karma, the actions. One is called Brahmana only because of his aptitude in learning and austerity. Otherwise, he is unfit to be called Brahmin. A Kshatriya is one who is dynamic, he is brave, and he has got the ability for administration. Such person is called a Kshatriya, and so on. And here it is clearly said that classes Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra are not based upon the birth. It is based upon purely on the aptitude as well as the actions one undertakes. Tasya kartaram api mam. I am the originator. I am the creator of this Chaturvarnya, which is based upon Guna and Karma. Even then, in reality, I am akartara, I am not the agent, I am not the doer. In reality, I am not the doer, but still, in the realm of avidya, it seems I have created all these things. So this is the divine mystery. In the last class, I have tried to explain the concept of Prakriti, the power of God. It is power of God which has transformed into this whole world. This world consists of sentient beings. The sentient beings are the higher power of God, para prakriti, and insentient entities are the apara prakriti, the lower, the inferior prakriti it is called. So both are power of God. Through the power of the God, the whole world is created. Whole creation happens. So it is not through the God directly. So the same Prakriti is described in Vedanta as something delusional, something illusion. Just like we see snake on the rope. So there is only one substance. The substance can either be rope or the snake. But some people see snake on that, that is unreal. It is a delusion. In the same way, the whole world consisting of sentient and non-sentient beings, entities, is a delusion created, maya, a kind of illusory experience upon the reality called the Brahman. So, from the standpoint of reality, from the absolute standpoint, the Lord, the Paramatman, is Akartara. He doesn't do any work because Atman is Akartara. Consciousness, pure consciousness, which is everywhere, which has pervaded everything in this world. It is still, it doesn't have any activity at all. So the Lord, the Paramatman, is essentially Brahman, the pure consciousness, and in absolute sense he is avyaya, non-decaying. He doesn't get change at all. There is no change, there is no transformation in Paramatman. So we have to understand the Godhead or the idea of Paramatman in two realms. One is from the standpoint of absolute. So absolute standpoint transcends the barrier of Maya, the Jagat, the world. It is Nirguna Brahman, Akartara and Avyayam. The same reality we perceive as Ishvara, the Creator God, one who is present in every entity, Antaryami. He is the indwelling spirit in everybody, and He is the Creator, and He has pervaded the whole world. So all these ideas are under the realm of relative plane. In absolute plane, He transcends all of them. From the standpoint of the absolute realm, absolute reality, the God is avyaya, God is immutable, and God is the akartara. From the standpoint of the relative plane, the God is the creator, and He is the creator of this Chaturvarnya, the four-class division also. And Krishna says, my real nature is no work affects me. Namam karmani limpanti. I am not influenced by karma. It is in dire contrast with the ordinary people's karma. Our actions leave an impression on us. Good actions will good impressions, the bad actions will bad impressions. And through that samskaras or the impression, we in succeeding manner, again and again, we go on doing the worst, good and bad, and that results into recurring birth. So Shankaracharya says, avidya, the ignorance, leads to karma. Misunderstanding that I am only body and mind leads to action, and the actions leads to janma. Avidya, kama. So the kama comes, the desire comes, and desire leads to action, the action leads to janma, repeated percent death. That is not there in the Bhagavan. Even though Bhagavan unceasingly works by creating this world, by creating this populace in this world, sentient beings and non-sentient beings, entities, and He is always doing some work or the another. So the Lord Paramatma Ishvara is a great worker, still no work influences Him. Namam karmani limpanti. Why? Because there is no hankering for the results of the work. What is attachment? Work is not attachment. Doing work is not at all an attachment. But if we hanker for the results of the work, that is called the selfish work, that makes us getting influenced by the work. That is what is called the attachment. So in Sanskrit it is called asakti or the raga. One who knows my nature to be this, iti mam yobi janati karma bihi nasabhadyate. He will not be bound by the karma. The psychology of the meditation or the contemplation of God is spelled out here. If we go on thinking the Lord, the Paramatman, to be immutable, unaffected by the karma, one who doesn't have any hankering or the desire for the results of the work, the very contemplation will lead us to the same state. We will also be working tirelessly, and then we will not be attached to the results of the work. That is the essence of the Karma Yoga. So the ideal of Karma Yoga, or rather the ideal of Jnana Yoga also, the Paramatman himself. The idea is we should work like the Paramatman. We should work like the Krishna. Krishna in his own life, as you can see in the narrations given in Bhagavata and the Mahabharata, he is a great worker. He fought many wars, he was engaged in many pursuits, but he never hankered for name and fame and the position. He never became a king. He never wanted to rule a kingdom. Though he was involved in many wars, in lot of political arena, he was very much engaged. So we should work like Sri Krishna. Work, but do not get attached to the results. And this is the lesson we get out of this shloka number 14. And Krishna says, what is the use, what is the benefit if you know this secret or the understanding that the Lord's nature is this? What is the benefit of you get out of it? Evam jnatva krutam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaihi purvataram krutam. Evam, this, jnatva. So so far what Lord has instructed is jnana. Jnana of the Supreme Lord, the nature of the Supreme Lord. Jnana, what is jnana? The karma yogi, how we have to perform karma yoga, how we have to perform the actions without being result oriented. This we are learning from the Lord Krishna himself, the Paramatman himself. This is the knowledge. Evam jnatva, having known. Who should know? Mumukshubhihi, Shankaracharya says. Mumukshubhihi means one who is after the moksha. So Gita Shastra is a moksha Shastra. It is not for just academic learning or to satisfy one's intellect. It is for those who want moksha, the liberation, the spiritual beatitude, spiritual liberation. So mumukshus, having known that in ancient time they continue to do karma. So knowledge will not make one passive. This is the idea. The knowledge will make one dynamic. With knowledge, with profound knowledge of Atman, with profound knowledge of the God, we can do work better, without any selfishness, without any desire, without any attachment. We can continue to do work. This is what has been done by the great saints, great Mahatmas in the past. Purvaihi means those who belonging to bygone area in ancient times. Krutam, this is how they have done the karma krutam. So what is the message Krishna is giving us? Tasmatu. Therefore, Purvaihi Purvataram Krutam. Purvaihi, those people who lived in the past, That means the ancient period, more ancient than the age of Sri Krishna itself. Krishna in Dwapara Yuga says Purva, that means ancient period. Those great people who lived even before Krishna. Purvataram, from time immemorial. From time immemorial, this yoga system is there, the system of Jnana Yoga, system of Karma Yoga. There were people who followed this and they have attained the perfection, they have attained the liberation, and you follow them. And they have done the karma in this manner, giving up attachment, giving up desire for the result. You also follow them. You do exactly in the same way as they have done in the past. Karma eva kuru. This is very important. Eva, there is emphasis here. You have to do karma. You have no other way because you are not yet eligible for the steadfastness in jnana, where the inaction, not doing work without results, without desire, that comes automatically. But in fact, Krishna says, even the jnani also should continue to do karma for the welfare of the world, that is the loka sangraha. And Shankaracharya here says, if you are an ignorant person, if you don't have the knowledge of Atman, you have to do karma for the sake of purification of the mind. Because the purity of mind is very important. There is a danger in spiritual life. We take up spiritual life and we want to do meditation, we want to be recluse, we want to learn things, but our mind is full of desires, egoism, and clinging for the things of the world. And these are the filth we have in our mind that has to be purified. It is called Chitta Shuddhi or Sattva Shuddhi in Vedanta and the Bhagavadgita also. So Bhagavadgita emphasizes Sattva Shuddhi, purity of mind. In order to purify our mind, we have to do Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga makes us qualify for the Jnana Yoga. In fact, even in Jnana Yoga, the role of the karma is very much emphasized. We are already in the middle of the chapter. It is Jnana Yoga chapter. Still Krishna is speaking of the karma. That means even while you are engaged in Jnana Yoga, even if you are qualified for Jnana Yoga, you have to continue to do work. If you are an ignorant person, still not attained the Atma Jnana, you have to do work for the sake of purity of mind. If you are already a Jnani, the knower of Brahman, still you have to do, because you should not allow the other people to go astray. You are an ideal person. The people will follow you. People consider you as an example, a person to emulate. So you have to continue to do the work. This is the yoga followed by great saints and the great sages. Here Shankaracharya doesn't mention any sage's name. No Brahmin's name is mentioned here. The name of Janaka is mentioned. Janakadibihi. How Janakadibihi? Janaka was a great king and also the knower of the Brahman. He continued to do the work even after the realization. So there is another name mentioned in the Shastras, along with the Janaka, that is Ashwapati. Ashwapati is the father of Savitri, a great lady who was the wife of Satyavan. The story we know. That Ashwapati was also a great king as well as a sage. Both Janaka and Ashwapati were called Rajarshi. And how to understand the word Rajarshi? They were kings as well as their rishis. They were great administrators of the great kingdoms of those times, as well as they were the great seers of the truth. They have realized the truth, the knowers of the Brahman. This is the ideal Gita is putting before us. Now the question comes according to Shankaracharya, O Lord, you command us, you instruct us, you are asking us to do karma, isn't it? You command us and we will do the karma. And why you are citing the examples of the great sages of the past? What is the need of it? Why you are telling just follow the example, the great example of the sages who have practiced this yoga in the past? And why you cite their example? Why you should give their put them as an ideal to follow? What is the need? And this is one of the objection. This is one of the question that may rise in our mind. That is according to the interpretation of Shankaracharya. To answer this question, Krishna says, Kim karma kima karmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshyami yajnatva mokshase ashubhat. Yes, kim karma kima karmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshyami yajnatva mokshase ashubhat. So the idea is, it is very difficult to understand what is action, and rather it is more difficult to understand what is inaction. The Krishna himself says, it is very, very esoteric in nature, and it is impossible to understand for the common people what to be done, what not to be done, and what is the absence of the work, what is meant by an inaction. So in the next sloka, he elucidates that matter. He uses the three terms that we should remember. One is the karma, another is akarma, and the third one is the vikarma. So of course in the shloka number 16, he uses only karma and akarma. In fact, the teaching is about the three factors. One is action, what is meant by being active, and vikarma means engaging in evil actions. So vikarma, since vikarma is an evil action that is prohibited by the Vedas, that is prohibited by the scriptures, the karma means beneficial actions, that is sanctioned by the scriptures. So there are instructions in the Vedas. The first one is called the vidhi, commandment. Do this. Every day you have to do sandhya vandana. You have to practice ahimsa. These are vidhi vakyas, the commandments. So we have to act according to the vidhi. Second one is prohibitory sentences, nishedha. Don't engage yourself in violence. Don't tell lie. Satyam bruyat, asatyam ma bruyat. These kind of sentences. Those actions which are prohibited by the Veda, which are not supposed to do. That is nishedha. And the third one is, there are some actions we should, these are the two, vidhi and nishedha. There are other kinds of sentences also. We are not going into detail. So those are sanctioned by the Vedas are called karma here. Those who are not sanctioned, those who are prohibited by Vedas, the scriptures is called akarma here, vikarma here. And just the absence of the karma, not doing anything, simply sitting, and that kind of karma is called the akarma here. So Krishna says in the shloka, there is a lot of confusion about action, good action, beneficial action, what is bad action, what is evil action, as well as what is inaction. Kim karma, kim akarma iti. What is good action, what is bad action. Kavayaha atra, eva kavayaha. So in our Kannada language we use kavi word for the poets. Actually this word is used in the Upanishads and the Vedas to denote the supreme reality Brahman itself. In the Ishavasya Upanishad, Kavir Manishi, the word we use. Kavi means Krantadarshi. So we have limited perception. All our perception we have to do through the senses and the mind. But there is another kind of perception which transcends the mind and the senses. That is the supersensuous perception or the transcendental experience or the real experience that is called aparoksha jnana, apsakshat aparoksha brahma. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, one who has attained that knowledge, one who is embodiment of that knowledge is called the Kavi. So the Kavi word is used both for the supreme reality, God, as well as for those who have attained the knowledge. In this context, Kavayaha means one who has sees beyond, the wise man, Krantadarshi. Even the Kavayaha, in ordinary sense we have to take it, even the wise men are deluded, are confused, or the better word would be they were very perplexed. In which subject they are perplexed? What is karma? What is akarma? What is action? What is not action? So I am going to tell you the knowledge of what is karma and what is akarma. A pratijna it is called in traditional language, a proclamation, a determination that I am going to do like this. So before commencing any work or in the commencement itself, the author says, I am going to write this book on this particular subject. That is called pratijna. Here there is a kind of pratijna Bhagavan is making. Aham pravakshyami. I am going to tell you. I am going to instruct you. What you are going to instruct? Of course, karma, he says. As I told you, this includes karma, the good actions, akarma, the absence of actions, vikarma, as well as the evil action. About these three things, three kinds of karma, I am going to give you the knowledge. O Krishna, what is the use of this knowledge? Yatte karma pravakshyami, he says, the usefulness or the benefit of this karma is yajnatva mokshase ashubhat. So ashubhat mokshase, by knowing what is karma, what is not karma, and what is evil karma, you will be free from all kinds of evil. Ashubha, here to be understood according to the tradition, it is samsara. It is the transmigratory existence, and that is the evil we are experiencing. The ultimate evil is avidya, ignorance. Due to ignorance, we perceive our body and mind to be our Atman, our personality. We undergo birth and death repeatedly. That is our problem. That is the eternal problem. We have to find a solution. Only the knowledge will give the pertinent solution. That knowledge I am going to tell you. Krishna determines, makes a proclamation. So we can remember a quotation from Upanishad here. Upanishad says, Sa vidya ya vimuktaye. What is vidya? What is knowledge? That is knowledge which makes us free, which gives us liberation. So now Krishna fulfills his resolution and he says, and that proclamation, he has already done proclamation, I am going to teach you, and Krishna is now teaching the karma, about karma. Before that, he says, there is a prologue in Shankaracharya's commentary. An objection can be raised here. What is there in karma to be understood? Everybody knows. Karma means the movement, the activity. So we are all active, we are all doing karma. What is there to understand? So according to one who is objecting, karma means just the movement of the body. It is very well known in the world. So everybody knows what is a karma also. Simply sitting idle without doing any work is a karma. Doing something is karma. So all of us know. What is there to know? This may be the objection or the question before us, and Krishna answers to this question. Karmano hepi bodhavyam, bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha, akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. He says, common people do not know what is real karma. They know what is karma. But what is the exact nature of the karma, they do not know. Because as we will see in the next shloka, Atma is inactive. But I say I am doing, I am sitting, I am eating. If you are referring Atman as I, the Atman is not doing anything. That means your karma is not a karma at all, because you are not doing anything. Atman cannot do anything. That means the idea of karma you have is completely wrong. So our idea of common people about karma, akarma and vikarma are entirely false. So you do not know what is karma. You do not know the absence of karma. Hence, it has to be known. The word used here is bodhavyam. It has to be understood. How to understand? That is what I am teaching you now. I am here to teach you. You are listening to this. What is to be known, what is to be understood, I am teaching you that. Then what are the things to be understood? Karma has to be understood. Karmanaha hi api bodhavyam. The karma, even so-called karma, has to be understood. Api means here even. Even we think we know all about activity. We know all about karma, all about action. Really we do not know. Because there are certain karmas enjoined by the scriptures. Unless we are thorough in scriptures, we cannot have the correct understanding, the complete understanding of what is karma. So the karma has to be understood. Karmano hepi bodhavyam. Here karma means not just a movement of the body, etc. The scriptural sanctioned karma, the sanctioned karma. So it is to be done. You have to follow this kind of commands. As I already told you, there are vidhi, commandments in the Vedas, and we have to follow them. Then what is akarma? The absence of karma. So not doing any karma. So what is akarma? What is karma? You say Atman is doing work. Atman is not doing work. That means you are seeing karma in akarma. You do not know what is akarma at all. Akarma is possible only in Atman. But you say, I am sitting idle. I am sitting quietly. It is just withdrawal from the work, that's all. We are going to discuss in detail in the next shloka. As an introduction, as a prologue, I am just introducing this subject. What is karma? Is activity that is not there in Atman. We see karma in akarma. Akarma. That means the Atman doesn't have any karma, we see karma there. That is our problem. So what is the correct way of understanding? Atman doesn't have any work. All the work is done, all activities are done by the body and the mind, that's all. So in other place Krishna, Prakrutehe kriyamanani says. All the works are done by the three constituents of the Prakriti, Sattva, Rajas and the Tamas. And ahankara, people think I am doing. That means Atman is doing. That means we identify our Atman with the body and mind. Ahankara vidmudhatma kartahamiti manyate. One who is deluded by ahankara, the identification, the wrong identification with the body and mind, he thinks I am the doer. So this is the problem with us. We say one who is not doer is doer. We think doer is the non-doer. That is the problem. Then we should know what is karma. And we should know what is akarma. And we should also know, in addition to that, karmano hepi bodhavyam, bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha, akarmanascha vikarmanaha. Vikarma, I have already explained what is evil action, what is prohibited by the scripture. That also has to be understood. Because the Krishna says in another place in the Gita, Shastra is the authority for all our actions. Whatever actions we do, whatever rituals we perform, every action, every activity should be guided by the Shastra, the scriptures. So the Pramanam, Shastram Prama. Suppose a warrior goes to the war, it is sanctioned by the scriptures. A Brahmin performs sacrifices, yajna, it is sanctioned by the scriptures. A Vaishya, one who has bent of mind for agriculture and also for business, he conducts that activity, it is also sanctioned by the scriptures. So every activity should be sanctioned by the scriptures. That which is not sanctioned by the scriptures is called the evil karma. That also to be known. So three things to be known. What is karma? Karmano happy. Even karma has to be known. And also what is evil action? Bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha. And what is to be known? Other than this, akarmanascha bodhavyam. So we have to understand what is not sanctioned by the scriptures. That is vikarma, and what is the absence of the work. The akarma is there only in Atman. Only Atman can be nishkarma, it is called. Naishkarmya siddhi we call. Steadfastness, establishing ourselves in Atman is the real inactivity. Not sitting idle is not the inactivity. So it is just withdrawing some kind of work. Even while we are sitting idle, we are thinking, moving our body, we will be busy, we will be restless. So that is not called inactivity at all. So we should understand what is inactivity. We should understand what is activity and what we should understand what is evil activity. Akarmanascha bodhavyam. And Krishna, the reason is, in the end Krishna says, Gahana karmano gatihi. The exact nature is called the gati here. Of course, the literal meaning of gati is way. Way or the path. The destination is used, the gati word used in this sense in Sanskrit. Gati means my gati, if I am going to Mysore, my gati is Mysore. I am on the way to Mysore. That is gati. But here, the way of the work, that is the exact nature of the work. The exact nature is called tattva in Sanskrit. For example, they take this same stock example of Vedanta. I see the rope, but I visualize snake on that. I am not seeing the rope. If I understand that rope to be a rope, then it is tattva for me. It is the exact nature. That is gati for me. If I understand, my knowledge of the rope is snake, then that is wrong understanding. That is not gati. So, gahana, it is very, very complex. It is very difficult to understand. Gahana karmano gatihi. That is why one has to understand what is karma and what is akarma as well as the vikarma. Now coming to the famous sloka, karmani akarmaya pashyet akarmani cha karmayaha sa buddhiman manushyeshu sayuktaha krishna karmakratu. Now Krishna teaches what is karma, what is akarma, and now he has already made a declaration. He has resolved that he would be teaching you tatte karma pravakshami. Now he is fulfilling that promise. Now he says, very difficult to understand, but I will try to be as simple as possible. Take the example, the same example of the rope and snake. We will start. So Swami Yatishwaranji used to say, in spiritual life, we have to begin from the beginning, where we are situated, in what stage of spirituality we are in. We have to start from that. So in the same way, we will start from the very simple example that I have already cited or quoted just now. I see rope. Some people see rope, some people see snake. This is one example. There is a second example of the same nature. I see a shell. I see shell, but some other man sees rajata or the silver there. So my perception is correct and another perception is wrong. So what I say to him, you are seeing silver on the rope. So in the place of silver, you have to see the rope. That is what I am going to say. And in the place of the silver, you have to see the shell. In the place of the snake, you have to see the rope. That is what I am telling. So there are two kinds of perception. Perception with understanding. Seeing shell on the shell is correct understanding. Seeing rope on the rope is correct understanding. Seeing snake on the rope is a wrong understanding. And also the seeing rajata, the silver on the rope, is also wrong understanding. So we should be very clear about it. So there are two kinds of knowledge. One is the correct knowledge and the another is wrong knowledge. So karmani, in action. Only what is movement? Here that scriptural sanctioned karma should not be taken according to Shankaracharya. Any kind of movement, even breathing, even thoughts that comes up in our mind, that is also a kind of movement. So there are two kinds of action. One is bodily actions and the mental actions. Both are actions. In fact, the second meaning, movement of the body and mind, that is what Swami Vivekananda ascribed to the word karma. Karma, the very beginning, very first sentence of the Karma Yoga, he says, karma means any action. Even breathing is an action. Let me analyze. This kind of karma belongs to body. If it is body movement, it is body. If it is mental movement, the thoughts, it belongs to mind. Whatever it is. All actions belong to body and mind, or the conglomeration, the combination of the body and mind. All actions belong to conglomeration of the body and mind. So we are very clear about it. But what our understanding? What is our understanding? I do, I see, I cry, I am happy, I am not happy. That means the movement of the body and mind I am ascribing to the Atman. Atman doesn't move at all. Atman doesn't have any happiness at all. Atman doesn't have any sorrow at all. Atman doesn't get angry at all. So how do you know Atman doesn't get angry? So we go from waking state to the deep sleep. In between there is a dream state also. From waking state to the dream state, from dream state to the deep sleep, it is called Sushupti. The sleep, Nidra Sthiti, is divided into two. One is the dream state, Swapnavastha, and the last one, deep sleeps. We get only Sukha there, bliss, no movement. Mind is not working there, body is also not working. No body movement, no perceptions, no thoughts. That means there we perceive only the bliss of Atman. So Atman's real nature we enjoy in the dreamless sleep. That is the real nature of Atman. And how is that in the waking state and dream state, I seems to be enjoying happiness, I am in misery, I am moving my body, etc., etc., because you have identified with the body. Since you have identified with the body, you think you are moving. I am moving. You are not moving. Your body is moving. Since you have identified with the mind, you think I am in misery, I am in happiness, that's all. So the simplest example, simplest idea Krishna gives here, karma, what is called karma? The actions performed by body and mind doesn't belong to Atman. The wise man sees akarma there. Karmani akarma yah pashet. The wise man, knower of the Brahman, he sees inaction, he sees inaction. What we call action is not action at all. That actions belong to body and mind. It doesn't belong to me at all. I have already quoted this shloka. I have to quote it once again. Prakrutehe kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvashaha. These are all done by the Prakritis. What is Prakriti in our body? Except Atman, everything is Prakriti. Mind is made up of Prakriti, 3 gunas. Body is made up of 3 gunas. The action belongs to non-self, body and mind, Prakriti. Action does not belong to Atman. When I say I am doing, I am walking, walking is that action doesn't belong to Atman. So the way of telling in Gita, the way he tells is, in that karma, what we call karma, what we say as karma, the wise man sees akarma because he is already identified with Atman. Atman is actionless. Atman is called avikari, akriya. The beautiful words we should know. Avikriya, and avikriya means there is no kriya in Atman. There is no kriya in Atman. Atman all avyaya, it doesn't change, it is always remains the same. So, who is the real seer then? What is the real knowledge? The real knowledge belongs to one who sees the Atman in all circumstances. What we call karma, we say I am doing karma, Atman is doing karma. He sees akarma there. He doesn't see the karma there because the wise man knows very well, the knower of Atman knows very well, no karma is possible in Atman. This is the meaning of karmani akarmaya pashyet. Now let us jump to the next line. Sabuddhiman manusheshu. He is the most intelligent person. How can one intelligent person? Because he can discriminate. What is karma? Karma belongs to body and mind, and karma doesn't belong to the Atman. He can discriminate. Akarma is always belongs to Atman, karma always belongs to body. He can discriminate. And he has exact knowledge. He has correct knowledge, which is opposite to our common knowledge. That is why he is very intelligent. Buddhiman, sabuddhiman manusheshu. Among the people, among the human beings, he is the greatest human intelligent. Krishna karma krutu. He is performing all kinds of action. Do you think Jnani is sitting idle and only instructing people, giving upadesham? Come to Ramakrishna Ashrama and see, our Swamis are working. We are all Vedantins. Even the most senior monk also has to work here. But we work with the knowledge inside. Our mind is filled up with knowledge of God, knowledge of Atman. Externally, we work with that knowledge. So it is a kind of enlightened work. Work with ignorance is ordinary work. I am body, I am mind. What is meant by enlightened work? Work with the knowledge that I am Atman. I am just body and mind. It is body and mind which are performing or doing work. This is enlightened knowledge. So it is a case of enlightened knowledge where you will not have any attachment towards work and the results. You will be free from all kinds of miseries. Where there is an attachment, there is a misery. Where there is no attachment, there is no misery. Freedom, the sense of freedom. So Swami Vivekananda says, work like a master, not like a slave. This Jnani is working like a master. So we have connected karmani akarmaya pashyetu saha Buddhiman manusheshu, he does all kinds of work, he accomplishes all kinds of work, still yuktaha, he is yogi, he is a jnana yogi, as well as a karma yogi. If you cannot be a good karma yogi, you cannot become a jnana yogi. That is what Krishna says. Only a perfect karma yogi can be a jnana yogi, because the jnana is the offshoot, the result of the perfection in karma yoga. The perfection in karma yoga takes us to the jnana yoga. So we have to do all kinds of actions, secular actions, spiritual activities, religious action. We should not deviate from any kinds of action. Oh, I will not do this. This is secular action. So do some job, earn some money, help the family. No, I will not do this. I am a spiritual man. Oh, that person is pseudo-spiritual. He is not a fake spiritual person, because he is shying away from the duty to his family. We should not shy away from our duty to family, duty to the society. We should always do our duty. But we should do our duty like the master, as Swami Vivekananda says. So he is accomplishing all kinds of duties. He is doing all kinds of work. Still his mind is on God. His mind is engrossed in Atman. He is a karma yogi externally, and he is a jnana yogi internally. Krishna karma krutu sayukta. Yukta means yogi. Yogi means one who has got steadfast knowledge. One mind is not at all deviated. Mind is not at all disturbed. We have already read in the second chapter, Stita Prajna, his mind, his intellect is steadfast. So he has got hundreds of duties to perform. He has got commitment to the family. He has commitment to the society. He engages himself in lot of activities from morning to evening. Still his mind, he is steadfast. His mind is calm. Mind is tranquil. Mind is not wavering at all. Such an ideal person, an ideal Sri Krishna is presenting before. Who is that? Karmani akarmaya pashyet. So go to the second part of the first line. Akarmani cha karmayaha. What is our concept? I have already touched upon this. What is our idea of akarma? Our idea of akarma is, I am doing some work, I am writing a letter or writing something, or I am watching TV, that is the most important thing for us now. Or I am answering messages in my WhatsApp, that is also a very important work for us. We are very much engaged. I stop that work, I withdraw from that work. Oh, I am not working now. That is akarma there. But there is a sense of work even in the akarma, Krishna says. Rather, Shankaracharya explains. What we call absence of work is not an absence of work at all. There is an agencyship. Now I am doing something, I am withdrawing. I am the doer, I am doing a work, now I am withdrawing. The withdrawing is also a work. Withdrawing ourselves from the work is also a work. So, in absolute sense, really we cannot say that I am in perfect peace. Then what is real akarma? Real akarma is, as I told you repeatedly, steadfastness in Atman. doing work outside, doing all kinds of work. Ramana Maharshi was also doing all sorts of work in his ashrama. Sri Ramakrishna, from morning to night, he was teaching his disciples. He was also doing karma kathor, Swami Vivekananda says. So, in akarma, what we call akarma, so-called akarma, it is not akarma at all. Who sees that? Wise man sees that. The knower of Atman sees that. Oh, this is not akarma. It is just a withdrawal from one work, and the body mind is active and people are identified with body mind. It is just cessation of work, that's all, for few minutes. So, akarmani cha karmayaha. What is akarma, or the absence of work in the eyes of ordinary people, is not akarma, it is karma alone. Who sees that? Who understands this? Once again, such man is most intellect of all the people. Sa buddhiman manusheshu, and he performs all actions. Krishna karma kit, still he remains steadfast in his mind. Sayukta. So this is the simple meaning of the karmani akarmaya pashet, akarmani cha karmaya, sabuddhiman manusheshu, sayukta karma, Krishna karma krita. There are other insights we have to discuss, and we shall take up in the next class. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. ಮೈಸೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಶತಮಾನೋತ್ಸವ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಾ ಇದೆ 21ರಿಂದ 24ರವರೆಗೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಹೋಗೋರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಫಾರಮನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದು QR ಕೋಡನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರು ಆನ್ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳಾಗ್ಬೋದು. ಇದರ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನವನ್ನು ಜನಗಳು ಭಕ್ತರು ಪಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೇವೆ.